Welcome back. My name is Chance Eaton. I want to thank you for your interest in the Culture and Wellbeing Learning Subscription Program. I want to take a few moments here and provide you with clarity as to what does the program look like exactly. So I'm going to talk about the 12 topics, those lecture topics. We're going to talk about the assessment value. We're going to talk about how it's delivered. We're going to talk about the Big Skyway platform that comes with the course. And then lastly, the most important piece is this idea of repetition and becoming a connoisseur. So those are the 5 topics I want to go through in this short little video. First off, let's talk about the topics. We've been doing this for 20 years, and we've identified 12 just classic topics, timeless topics that are very relevant for today's workplace that deal with both culture and well-being. So I'm going to tour through those real quick. The first one is personality. We use the DISC personality, Wiley DISC for this course. And we use a lot of different personality assessments here at Big Skyway, but this one is very elegant. So you're going to learn about your style, your preferences, how to read other people, how to flex your style. So there's an emotional intelligence component, how to show grace when people are different from you. And that course comes with the Everything DISC assessment and the Catalyst platform. So you can see all the different DISC styles of your different team members. So personality is one topic. Another topic is team cohesion. Here we use the work of Patrick Lencioni's 5 behaviors. So we learn how to function as a great team, understanding how to get vulnerability-based trust, how to have healthy conflict, how to create commitment, so clarity and follow through with what you do as a group, accountability to make sure we're doing what we say we're going to do, that good pressure, and then finally gaining collective results. That course comes with the Wiley's 5 behaviors of a cohesive team personal development profile. Okay, so that's the team cohesion. Thirdly is customer service. Here we're using Fish philosophy as a framework to teach customer service basics, and using that Fish philosophy of choosing your attitude, having fun, being there, making their day, and building out a customer service standard from that material. So we're combining customer service with Fish, so it's very easy and applicable to use in any workplace. We'll also talk about well-being. And so we're using Gallup's 5 essential elements to understand the research around thriving. We'll also talk about employee engagement as another topic. And again, we're using Gallup's Q12 survey as part of this course, understanding those psychological needs of people at work. What does communication need to look like in the trenches of work? And me as an employee, what does that mean and how can I create more engagement within my team? The next course is conflict. We all have conflict, and what we learn is these different modes and approaches, creating more self-awareness and that ability to flex our conflict styles. And this comes with a Thomas Kilmann conflict mode instrument. So from a situational perspective or behavioral perspective, what is your preferred style? We'll also talk about the emotional freedom technique. This comes out of the field of energy psychology. It's a stress management tool. It's combining traditional exposure therapy and cognitive modalities with Eastern medicine acupressure points. And so super cool. I use it every single day as a stress management well-being tool. So that's the emotional freedom technique. We'll also talk about the foundational documents, whether it's your organization, your department, your work group, understanding the DNA of that group. What do we do? Why do we do it? What do we believe and stand for around here? What's our strategic advantage? What's our guarantee? What's our 10-year target? And that's applicable not just for an entire organization, but even sub departments and work groups. Really understanding your DNA, who we are and what we stand for. Another topic is principles, and this is adapted and based off the work of Dr. Stephen Covey, where you're learning to be an effective person in life, from being proactive and responsible to having a sense of direction and knowing what you stand for and what your values are, and following through with what you say is important, integrity, building trust, having this collaborative attitude and mindset about how you go through life, how you communicate by understanding before being heard, building synergy and solutions that are creative, and then taking care of yourself. Tools I live by every single day of my life. So old school principles from Dr. Covey. We'll also talk about talents and strengths. Here we're taking the assessment, the Clifton Strength Finder, which is a personality tool, but it's geared towards where are you wicked smart? Where are your shoulders the broadest? Where do you learn the fastest, have the most excellence? And making sure you lean on your strengths, manage your weaknesses, but play to your strengths. So that's a talents and strengths one. Sales, this is another topic in, everyone has to sell. I don't care who you are in the organization. And teaching folks how to have a story mindset, to move from transactional sales strategies to a story mindset, because the brain is already well built for story. And how do we use that as a framework for sales? And that course also comes with the DISC sales report. So you can see from a sales perspective, what do you look like and how do you have to flex? And finally, our 12th topic is meditation. We're using the heart math system, where you're learning how to adjust and manipulate your autonomic nervous system and getting yourself into a state of psychophysiological coherence, something you can do in real time and no one would know you're doing it. So those are the 12 classic topics that we have hand curated because they work so well with our clients that relate to culture and well-being. So those are the lectures, those are the topics. The assessment value, just all the assessments that we have bundled in here. At retail, they're at least $500. So that's worth more than any year's worth of subscription. So they're all psychometrically sound. That means they're valid, they're reliable, and we pick tools that we think are very applicable and easy to use at work. Thirdly, let's talk about the delivery. Once you register for that month as a member, you still have to register so we know who's coming, and we order your assessment for you and you take that. Then you come to the class and it's a live 2-hour lecture. Most of these topics are 2 months. Part 1, let's just take DISC. Part 1, you're going to go 2 hours, and the next month, part 2. And if you miss a class, but you've registered, we send you the recording. So if I miss day 1, I can watch the recording, jump back into day 2. Or I've registered and I can't make either days. Maybe I was sick or had a sick kiddo or something came up. I can still come back and watch those live recordings and still get the assessment. So that's how it's delivered. Live lectures, 2 hours per month. The platform, the Big Skyway platform, every one of these 12 courses has a platform on the side, and in there are pre-recorded lectures that I've done ahead of time, and there are exercises and resources. The exercises are really critical because I've developed tools that you and your team, if there's something you want to work on, can download, print out, take to your meetings. We're going to take 10 minutes out of today's tactical meeting and go through this exercise that's going to help bring conflict more, make that more aware. Or we're going to review some of the Covey principles or something your whole team can go through together. So the exercises are meant to really generate that return on investment from the class. So you start apply and using that stuff. So the platform is available for every single course when you are a member. Now the 5th part, this is the most important part, the repetition. We purposefully repeat the courses in 2-year cycles. And it's for a couple reasons. One, maybe you missed something and you want to watch that live one. You didn't get a register for it and you want to come back and watch it at some point in time, or you're sick and you want to come back and watch it. 2, let's say you've taken a course and in year 3 it comes back up. Well, learning depreciates. Depreciation is an economic term we use. It's the loss of value of a physical asset due to wear, tear, age, obsolescence. All physical assets due to entropy depreciate, and there's a value for that. Well, learning depreciates. If we're not using it or applying it, we lose that neural strength in our architecture. So just to maintain our learning, it's great to come back and review something. But this is the most important piece. It's the connoisseurship. When I come back and watch something again at a later date, I develop more connoisseurship, more acumen. You cannot be a critic in life if you're not a connoisseur. When I'm a connoisseur and I understand something with depth, now I can make judgment, I can make critique, I can make suggestions and consult and advice. It's building that connoisseurship. It's just like when you go back and read that book you read in college, now it looks completely different, right? Because you have more perspective, your paradigm has grown, you have more acumen, you have more connoisseurship, and it reads different. I've done this long enough where some people will review a topic 2 years later, 3 years later, 4 years later, 5 years later, and they see it completely different. Like, I didn't catch that before. Or this time I was applying it to my new team, or I was applying it to my family. And you're just adding more information and knowledge, building a larger neural structure to really be a connoisseur. So the repetition is probably the most important part of this, to come back and really hone in and fine tune and build some strength and acumen around these topics. So there's my 5 pieces. Take some action. If you want to learn more and you want to visit with someone here at Big Skyway about the program in more detail, book a discovery call. Second, sign your team up, sign your whole company up. That way everyone's speaking the same language and you have the same resources. 3, once a month, come in and enjoy some knowledge, gain some acumen, gain some connoisseurship, and enjoy that Big Skyway platform just to supplement your learning. And fourthly, build a culture, build well-being in your organization so that your competitors and the companies around you envy you and they wonder, what are you doing differently? Become a company where people want to work for you and they're proud of that company. Let's get back to some old school basics and simply build culture and well-being the old-fashioned way with a little bit of knowledge and a little bit of practice. So from all of us here at Big Skyway, thanks and take care.